Hello, 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 hello. It's another glorious day, my tea sippers, and you know what time it is. I hope you have all of your comforts together because it's time to dish tea. And you're dishing tea, darlings, with Big Meat.
Can't wait. It's time to dish tea with Big Meat. It's time to dish tea with Big Meat. It's time to dish tea with Big Meat. It's time to dish tea with Big Meat.
Darling. And hello, hello, hello. Hello, 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 hello. Ha! Hello to all of my tea sippers, my crumpet dunkers, my tea brewers, my pot stirrers, and my tea leaf readers. What is going on in your world, honey? It's another glorious day, my tea sippers. And you know what time it is, honey, so I know you have all of your crumpets together. Why? Because it's time to dish tea, and you are dishing tea, darlings. How? With Big Meats. What's going on, babies? Yes, honey. I know. We're coming on a little later. Usually we're in the heat of the show right about now. However, um, you guys know if you have not if you're on the Facebook page, then you've read it on my wall. If you have not been following, I encourage you to do so. Let me put my link up here. Y'all go to my links and stuff and follow me on all of my little stuff right there. My cousin. Those of you who know her, um, her name is Tenero Lynn Fox, daughter of Tara Lynn Fox. So this is the daughter, not Tara Lynn. This is Tenero. That's my cousin, not by blood. You know, we became real good friends, and so we became family. And it's rather difficult because she is fighting stage 4 lymphoma. We just found out, and she was just released from the hospital yesterday. So she's home, and basically, we're winding down. Okay, and it's a little bit difficult because, of course, when you've been around somebody, we've been knowing each other, child. Shit, what, 30 years? And so in that time, and the just with the vicissitudes of life that it has given us, to see her, this way is a little bit much. And so I went over to go and to lend my assistance in helping making her comfortable today. And yeah, that took up all of the day. So on top of that, I had some governmental obligations with one of the boards that I sit on. So we had our first meeting of the year tonight. And then I had to travel to come back home. Usually I'm doing this at home and I'm already on the computer and stuff. So I would have been able to facilitate us very quickly. But I had to come home and travel to where she stayed. She stayed like 35 minutes away from me. So I had to get here, get into the thralls of the show and carry it on, and then set everything up. And so now we're here. So we are here. So for those of you who know Tenero, I'm asking that you throw up your prayers, or I don't pray anymore. I send up praise reports because it's when praises go up that blessings come down, honey. I'm starting to believe when folks pray, all you're doing is big, and honey, God heard you the first time in my book. So right now, honey, you pray one time, and then everything else becomes praise as you walk through and walk it through and walk it into manifestation. Those are just my own personal beliefs and things of that nature. Um, so with that, send up your well wishes and carrying on, and uh, let's make this as smooth as possible. The doctors said that it's 6 months, but um, yeah, that's what the doctors say. However, if there's a miracle that come up out of this, and this girl see her next birthday, her birthday is next month, and she come out of here going to see 56, then I know that's God all day. Okay, so we will see. And one of the things that I do know is that whatever pain or whatever she's going through right now, whatever happens, happens. And if your prayer is, give her peace and comfort and carrying on, one way, shape, style, form or fashion, it will happen. Whether she come up out of this walking and talking and doing her, getting back into her life, or whether she slide on the glory behind and go head on to the next expression of whatever life is, whatever happens, okay, is she's going to be out of her misery and her pain and suffering on this side. You understand? So we're just want to make sure that she's comfortable. Okay, so that there is that. Okay, having said that, darlings, I'm waiting on my co-host to come on up in here. Uh, Auntie Nikki gonna be up in here for a brief little moment because she has to get ready. She has an early day tomorrow, so I know she said she was gonna um, come in for a few moments and talk with us and things and call it grace. So that there is that. Red, he's coming in too. So we're just looking to make sure everybody get on up in here and things of that nature. You know what I'm saying, darling? Do you know what I'm saying? So let's get all off into the show, okay? Shall we? Let's do it. Now, one of the things that I am tired of talking about, and that there is all of this debacle and carrying on with this current administration that's about to be up out of here. Okay. Um, I'm tired of talking about it because at this particular point, it is really starting to piss me off. And the reason why it's pissing me off is because the folks who are still his supporters are only doing it because of party lines. This has become Republican versus Democrat. This ain't got nothing to do with right or wrong. This is all about party lines. And if y'all heard any of those debates and carried on that they were having for the impeachment, listening to the Republicans who said, no, I'm voting against this and carrying on, and their reasoning is full of shit. And I found myself getting mad. I was ready to throw it throw at the TV. But there was one thing that made sense, and I think he was Republican. I forget his name, but he stood up and he said, all I have is one question to ask this entire board, the body. And he said, has anyone asked or have any one person from this mob or the rioters, do we have one person here that will say that the president directly is responsible or they're actually directly following instructions from the president? Do we have one person here that will talk and speak on their own behalf? Okay, and then he stood there and he waited, like he was supposed to be getting an answer. And I thought that was brilliant, and I couldn't fuck with that. I could not. I could not. I could not. Um, uh, but at the same time, I became hot and evil. That damn Tom McClintock, okay, from California. Oh my God, that man could kiss my ass twice on a real diuretic shitty day. Okay. And I mean that from the depths of hell that it came from. Okay. Because everything it was just absolute lunacy. Okay. Absolute lunacy. And for anybody who does not understand why this is important for him to be impeached a second time, if you do not understand that, that means you're part of the goddamn problem. Because the whole idea, if for this impeachment, number one, let's go here. The first thing is you went to the vice president, Nancy and all them, they went to the vice president and said, evoke the 25th Amendment and take this motherfucker out of office and out of power. Shut him down. They said no. They said no. So now what? Huh? Now what? Is that a bug? I'm looking at this little thing right here. That is puzzling me. Um, so because they didn't want to take him out, evoking the 25th Amendment, I don't even think it's ever been done before. They said no. And so now that forced everybody's hand. Well, then we got to impeach him. And everybody went, it ain't but 7 days left. It ain't but 7 days left. This don't make no sense. Yes, the fuck it does. Because he knew that when he said, well, and then wait a minute. Here's the thing. Here is the thing. What about this bitch here? What's her name? Marjorie Taylor Greene. She's from here in Georgia. She's a newly appointed senator or somebody here. Okay? I don't even know who the hell she is because I don't even remember her name being on anybody's ballot. I don't remember her name. She's newly appointed, but why is it that she says that on January 21st, she is going to put in the articles of impeachment against President-elect Biden, and she's going on the fact of he's on record saying that he was going to withhold um, the aid to our foreign countries and carrying on. And her thing is that they still trying to go after him about Hunter and carrying on, taking this money or whatever this thing is about his son and this, that, and other, blah, 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 blah. And I think that is the most asinine thing here. Why are you going to do this on day one of his presidency? See, it's a tit for tat kind of thing. And all this has nothing to do with anything but party lines. And it's become blatantly apparent. And I think shit like this it's costing us money. I want y'all to think about this too. Y'all's up there bitch moaning, complaining about giving the American people the stimulus packages and carrying on and the pandemic relief monies and things of that nature. You complained about that. But yet every time we turn around, y'all got money for these goddamn impeachments. Y'all got money for bullshit ass little sessions and carrying on that y'all do. Y'all got money to go on fucking vacation and carrying on the taxpayers' dollars because the government shuts down. You find it interesting to shut down the motherfucking government and going about your goddamn business as if the people don't matter and it's the people that put you in office. Y'all will shut down and leave the people hanging. Now we ain't never, and y'all ain't never worried about the economy then. You ain't worried about it when you shut it down, huh? You ain't worried about what happens to the people when you shut it down. Say, and then how about this? You still get your coin. You still get your check. You still be able to get your health insurance. You still be able to go and to the finest restaurants and carrying on. And most of that stuff y'all get either as a tax write-off or you get it for free because of who you are, especially those who've been up there in power for age on end. There's folks have been up there as long as I've been alive. I'm 50, soon to be 51. Okay, and folks been in that damn Senate or whatever for that amount. Really, really interesting. Very, 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 very interesting. Okay, let me go to the comments and things. Lola Lauren, hello there, my darling. Hello, Lola. Her name is Lola. Okay. Yes, from the host with his own show uniforms. It's dishing tea with Big Meat. What up, though? Detroit in the Smurfing house. Now, in the Smurfing, are we Smurfy? Okay. Hi, what's up, Meat? What's up, Theo? What's going on, Light Man? Prayers up, fam. Thank you. Prayers for y'all. Thank y'all. Yes, thank God it's almost over. The debates were pure. Right. And hypocrisy. Okay. He was true. He was true. Clown him and Jordan from Ohio as well as the photo op pretty boy from Florida. Don't even. Okay, no. Okay, therein lies the problem. They've been kissing his ass for so long they can't function without him. Well, and there you have it. Okay, and there you have it. There you fucking have it. So now, you know, here's the our name today's show Operation New Generation. Okay, Operation New Generation. Okay, Red and I were having a discussion. What was it? Was it early this morning or was it yesterday? It was yesterday, I think. Um, and we were talking uh about that because we're still dealing with the remnants of the ugliness of what white supremacy and white separatists and that whole ideology of thinking. It has shown and reared its ugly head again like it did back in our parents' days. So when our parents were in their teens, okay, in the late 50s and 60s and carrying on, they had to deal with this, okay, in ways that when our grandparents were young adults, okay, in their late 20s, early 30s, you know what I'm saying? When they were young adults trying to raise their families and carrying on and had to deal with this whole Jim Crow South and all this, that, and the other, and that ideology of being of one race thinking that they're better than the other or supreme, okay, superior. And them dealing with all of that, this ugliness has arisen to that degree now. And there's a spin. There's a little spin because now they are a lot of them are not as sympathetic as well. I won't say that. No, the sympathetic is the wrong word. No, they're not as calculating as before. See, before it was almost a rite of passage. You know what I'm saying? It was the norm. A lot of what we call white privilege is not really privilege, honey. What it is, honey, that a lot of that white privilege shit comes from poor white folks who felt that because blacks had the jobs and blacks was doing this and blacks were doing that, that they were entitled to. They were supposed to have it because of their skin. And if you look back over your history and carrying on, a lot of what we call poor white trash and carrying on, a lot of them were the ones who made black folks jump and go through hoops and carrying on because they felt that they could. That's where that supremacy come from because they felt because they were their skin color. Okay, if you go back, look at a lot of movies, look at documentaries and stuff. You will hear black folks become punished at the hands of white folks simply because they had. And white folks felt, yeah, you can have, but you're not supposed to have like that. How come you got it and I don't? Okay. One of my best examples of that I love to quote. I know many of y'all saw the movie Harlem Nights. Okay. How many of y'all remember the scene where the police cop coming to Sugar's house and he said up there telling myself, you sitting up here living like this while I'm living in a fucking hovel. Okay. It's ridiculous. Okay. It's ridiculous. Hold on. Frozen? What you mean? Can y'all wait a minute? Am I frozen or is the Facebook froze? What's going on? Y'all talk to me. Tell me what's happening. Okay. Tell me what's going on. Okay. Well, yes, just deal with it. Has been assured them. Child. Okay. Okay. So wait a minute. What's going on? Do I need? I'm gonna take a commercial break and find out. Okay. Let me press pause right here and find out what's going on. Let me find out. Okay, hold on. Let me do this. I'll be right back because I say something. There's a problem. All right, just a moment. Just a moment.
that's his day. He don't know Tom. Yeah. Yes. Oh, here we go. Oh, I can't see the demons. I can't see the demons, but I can see the light.
We are creating black luxury across this country.
All right, and we are back. Sorry for that. Folks were telling me we were frozen, and I wanted to make sure everything was okay. But the Facebook is up and running and things of that nature, so that there is of that. So, I forgot where I was and carried on because y'all know I'm a little discombobulated for the moment. However, let's get into this because I'm talking about today's show is about Operation New Generation. Okay, Operation New Generation, honey. Listen, we are doing stuff a little bit differently these days, honey. Okay. And that's across the board. Okay. We're doing stuff as far as how we see ourselves in this world. We're much different than our parents and our grandparents are carrying on and how they had to deal with societal ills and wishes and carrying on. We are so much more different than that. We are Operation New Generation, honey. And we tell everybody we ain't them. We are not our ancestors, honey. We stand on their shoulders, and we're very appreciative, okay, of what it is that they've done for us. At least we should be. Now, that could be debatable because you would think that with all the strides and stuff that was taken from our ancestors, that we would be not only have advanced a little further, but more than just the advancement. Um, uh, More than just the advancement, but more so the behavior, you know, uh the behavior, the attitude and carrying on, and in a lot of regards we seem to have backtracked and backslid or went backwards in some regards because let's look at it. Okay, now it's easy to say we are not our ancestors when it comes down to protesting and stuff. So we always say, okay, no, they were taught nonviolence and this, that, and the other, blah, blah, yakety. Okay, that's cute. But we ain't them, honey. You hit me, I'm gonna knock the fuck out you. Okay, you stick a dog on me, I'm gonna kill that motherfucker. Okay, if you hit me with billy clubs and carrying on, honey, trust me, you will get dealt with. Okay, and so we have a lot of that as far as our mentality. We take a different stance, and a lot of folks think that um, a lot of folks feel as though um, they're more Malcolm X than Martin Luther King. Okay, as far as nonviolence and carrying on and that whole approach. No, we're not gonna sit down here. I'm not gonna go to jail because you hit me in the face. I'm not gonna hit you back. But here's the thing: I want you to understand something. If y'all paid attention to Malcolm and Martin, it's as if they damn near their ideologies became one another's. Because in the beginning, Martin was more of the nonviolent kind of person until after he started talking about black economics and we need to get our checks. We need to sit here get our money and stuff so that we can have our own businesses and things. When Martin started talking like that, then he became a little bit more radical. If you look at some of the so look at some old footage, child Martin, Shit, they hit him one time. He was about ready to knock shit out of somebody. Somebody had to grab him, like Martin, and this, that, and the other. So, and then let's look at Malcolm. Malcolm come out. He was very, 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 you know, by any means necessary until when he went to Mecca and came back and had this spiritual awakening and carried on, and he started doing stuff a little differently. He was still by any means necessary, but he was more of a peaceful kind of person, looking for options and carrying on. And he was not the staunch revolutionary that he started out to be. He had softened a little bit in order to have a more cohesive message. And as you can see, they kind of they agreed with one another in the end. And so because of that, a lot of us think as though, when we say I'm not my ancestor, and this, that, and other, we quick to go to willing to say that, we know how to be violent and we know how to fight back. But do we really know how to fight? Do we really know how to fight? And I give you that question because oftentimes all of us, when we think fighting, we think going to beat somebody's ass. And there are other ways of fighting so that not only do you win the battle, but you can win the war. Okay. And I don't think that like back in the day, the old generation, honey, was about learning how to win the war. Okay. They knew how to gather together, they knew how to galvanize, and they knew how to make some sense so that they can get together to end the war. This is wartime. We more so trying to get battles. We all about battles. Okay. Yeah, we're gonna get that nigga, we're gonna get that. And instead of shutting it down, we like to keep this retaliation shit going back and forth. Well, hell, they did it to my boy, we got to go get them. And it's always retaliation. And a lot of that is drug, I won't say drug, it's gang activity. And nobody seems to look beyond that particular scope. So when we say we're not our ancestors, honey, what do we really mean by that? Okay. And can we take that argument across the board? Okay. Do we take that argument across the board? And the reason why I ask that is because there are some things where we ought to be like our ancestors. Because we still, y'all know I'm working on trying to do my part to rebuild Black Wall Street. Okay. But where are those of us who say I'm down for and do it like the ancestors? Okay. Or, I'm not my ancestor, we ain't them. Okay, well, show me how, are you better than them? Because one of the things about having children or raising children or being a mentor to someone is that you're preparing them to be better than you. Okay. When the student becomes the teacher, that's what the party is. Because my job is done. So then the teacher goes out to teach until he becomes a student again. How did he become a student again? Because you run into someone that's going to show you a few things, that's going to teach you a few things. You take class all over again. Because oftentimes there are a lot of students out there who end up teaching the teacher something. How about that? Okay, well, you can look at life in a different perspective, where you can sit down and really let your experiences guide you along the way. See? So now, when we say we're not them, where are we better than them? What have we done to matriculate ourselves and get ourselves into a place where we can say, yes, this is who we are. Yes, we're not them. We're better than them because why? We standing on their shoulders proudly. Why? Okay, why? Because did we take the lessons that they gave us, or did we follow the blueprint? Is there a blueprint? That's a better question. Is there a blueprint? Huh? Because when we look at it, let's look at it as our leaders and carry it on. When something goes down, why is it that I like the fact that the young folks are able to take up and to create and carry it on, because for so long we were so busy waiting on Reverend Al Sharpton and Jesse Jackson, and they were here. They old. They are old. They've had their day. Okay. We can't look to them to come running to the damn scene or whatever. What do we have in place? Who did we train to be in place? You know what I'm saying? Who did we groom to come up? See, if we're not our ancestors, we're supposed to be better than them, right? We're supposed to be able to take this and say, okay, there's a better way to do this. We're supposed to be able to know how to tackle that particular thing, right? But how come when it comes down to this matter of race and economics and stuff, we still in the same boat that we were in a long time ago? Right after, we're in the same boat that we were in when drugs hit our community. Uh-oh, that's my phone, y'all. We're still in that same particular boat. Okay, we are still in that boat. When the drugs came into our communities. Now, remember back in the day when we were still Black Panthers and carrying on, and we were policing our own communities and carrying on. The drug dealers were there, but they didn't set up shop in the neighborhoods. You can't bring that shit around these kids. We said that we moved the junkies out, didn't we? You know, if you came up on the junkies because you were in places where you had no business being. That's what that was. Now we sat there and stopped policing ourselves and carried on, and we threw our hands up. And how have we made ourselves better? Hmm? In that regard, you know what I'm saying? I want to take that particular aspect because when we talk about the new generation, because it's one thing to say that okay, we're out here protesting and things, and we having peaceful marches and peaceful protests and things, and if you come up on us, honey, we not them. Okay, we gonna fuck your ass back up. We not gonna take no ass whooping, and then you carting us off to jail because you feel as though you can. No, okay, that's not that. We're not gonna sit down there and let white supremacy and stuff and all of you folks come up here and spit on us and this, that, and the other, and disrespect me to my face. And you can say all you want to, but the second that you sit there across the threshold and want to get physical with me, no, I'm not gonna sit down there and take that ass whooping gracefully. No, we're not them. So that's one aspect of it. And I'm there wholeheartedly with that. But now let's take that across the board because let's look at relationships and stuff. How many of us are still in long-term relationships like your grandparents? Well, your grandparents been married 50, 60, 75 years. We can't even get to 50 minutes. Okay. And things that how many? Okay, how many of us absolutely look at relationships and like, hey, do I really want a relationship and carrying on? Are we looking at that from that particular perspective of long term? How many of y'all now here we go. Now this ain't to say that this didn't happen back in the day, because that's what the song Papa Was a Rolling Stone came about, where daddy got all these goddamn kids everywhere. But I believe part of that is slave residue from that being a trait passed on to Black men, thinking that we just supposed to have and conquer and shit because we were always our families were already separated, or always separated rather, and sold off. So somebody got umpteen kids, but you got all these different baby mamas and daddies and carrying on. That's slave residue. But the other thing of it is, child, is that we feel as though that's part of being a man. That you sit up here slinging and carrying on. And so back in the day, when our grandparents and great grandparents were sharecroppers and all that, they was having all these kids so that they can make more money. You got more kids in the fields and carrying on, the more crop can get done, the more money can be made, blah, 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 blah. You know what I'm saying? You're coming from large families and stuff. They got 12, 13, 16 kids and shit, you know. And to hear that kind of shit now is crazy. But we hear it now where you got one mama who got 16 kids, okay, and 17 baby daddies. Yeah, you heard me, 17 baby daddies. Because why? Because you got the one that stayed, that ain't followed none of them damn kids, but because he into you, he sit down there and say, okay, we're gonna do this. Okay, if you come away as a package deal, and then you sit up there and make him want to do it because the other motherfuckers didn't do it. Mm. Okay, how about that? So let's look at that family tree. You know, relationships don't. We're not our ancestors in that regard. Hell no. Okay, okay. What we got is the residue of Black segregation. Okay, okay, okay. Dig that. Dig that. Okay. They had an episode of Blackish about this subject where Anthony Anderson's character was criticizing his son's generation means of protesting injustice. I remember that. Yeah, I saw that. Okay. Yes, and that's what frightens them. Their biggest fear is that we would gain more control to treat them like they treated us. We are more intelligent these days. We can and will deal on their level. Theo, now you know what? Here's something there because uh, someone absolutely said that there was if you go on YouTube, there was right when Obama was first running for president. And then white folks sat up there and was losing their damn mind. And there was a elderly white woman in the back sticks somewhere. This one guy, he was, doing this little, guerrilla reporting and carrying on. And he was going asking folks about that. And somebody said that she was afraid that he was going to become, she didn't want no black folks in office because she was afraid that blacks would rise up and try to make white folks slaves. That came out of her mouth. And I screamed, hollered, and I shouted, "Good Lord." When I said that, I said, that is ridiculously crazy. But again, she was one of them little rural countries and carrying on, and cities rather. And because of that, there's a lot of people who think that way. Look at what we got now. Look at what we have now. Folks are sitting up here losing their minds at the idea. Georgia just voted in its very first black senator ever. Ever. You hear? Ever. Okay, in its entire history. And folks don't know how to handle that. A lot of what we're going through right now, with Agent Orange and carrying on, this is residuals of 8 years of having Obama as the president. And not only, see, here's the part that gets it. See, they refuse to believe that, um, or they refuse to acknowledge the fact that he's biracial. Okay. And everybody say that. We all say that, oh, he's the first black president. Yes. Okay. As far as his skin color, yeah. But he's a biracial man. Okay. He's our first brown skinned biracial president. Okay. Huh. Who who is actually African American, considering that his daddy is Kenyan. And he was not born in Kenya. His daddy came over here, found his mama. She had the baby here in Hawaii. Boom, where they were living. Okay. So there we have it. And a lot of folks didn't even want to, listen, you see how the world is and frowns upon black folks. They frown even further upon mixed and biracial children because now you've tainted the race in this and the other. And that's on all sides. That there's on all sides. Black folks can't stand it when blacks date outside their race and got mixed babies. They pretty, but why couldn't you be mixed with what is it? They could have came from the island. They could have come from one of the black parts of the islands or something, you know, you know, and carried on. You see, and that there is something when new generation, Operation New Generation. What are we looking like, children? What are we looking like? Okay, talk about business. But I was just talking about that. Look at us in business. Now we're very resourceful. We are a very resourceful people. Now we were talking about that the other day. We know how to make a damn coin, honey. We will make a coin. Okay, we will make a coin. Okay. I would tell you, we and then our counterparts, honey, they will find a way to make a sport out of something, child. Okay, they will find a way to make a sport out of fucking something here. However, what have we done? We so busy worried about uh, a sideways hustle to where we don't think about the long-term effects of what it means to create something that you can pass down to your children and to them. We don't have a quote unquote family business anymore. You understand? We don't have a family business anymore. Okay. And those that do, there's usually black market shit. And see, and remember when we used to say you got to get your hustle on, that the hustle was um in the light hustle. It wasn't a back alley dark hustle or whatever. Y'all remember those days? Okay. Well, you sold chicken dinners, or you fired up the grill, or you sold dinners on the weekends or whatever. You cut hair, um, you mowed the lawn and carried on or whatever. You went and cleaned out somebody's gutters. How many of y'all was able to babysit somebody's kids or whatever, or went in to clean their houses and this, that, and the other because you could and they trusted you and things. You would remember the hustle, going to the store for the elderly. You need something from the store? Yeah, baby, here, could you go get my list? See, listen, we were doing Grubhub and Uber Eats and shit long before it was about, that was us. Okay, that's what the idea come from. We did that as kids. Okay, run down there and get my sandwich. I want a fish sandwich and give me some fries with that, honey. Tell them don't be stingy on that damn coleslaw. And tell them make sure they put me some extra bread in there. You know they always fuck up the bread. Okay, okay. Remember that? Okay. Now everything about a hustle now is become, it's dark. It's in the back alley. It's the black market hustle. Everybody trying to now, what the hustle now is trying to get over on somebody. Okay. You want to sit up here and get over on somebody, trying to beat them out their coin. But yet, you as a businessman, you're trying to establish customers so they can come back. Listen, boosting ain't nothing new, honey. They've been boosting forever. But what made a good booster a good booster? He was able to sit down there. Y'all saw Baby Boy. Y'all saw Baby Boy. Okay. He sat down there. The hustle was, I got a connection. Okay. Then the business became, okay, I know where to go and do this, that, and the other. That's how come barbershops and carrying on became good. You know, that's right. You get anything. You go to a barbershop or a beauty shop, honey. Just sit there long enough, honey. Somebody coming through there trying to sell something. Okay, they got something for you, honey. Oh, they got something for you. And I can't stand no damn no fast talking motherfucker either. Cause you talking too damn fast, honey. Wait a minute, you ain't making sense no more. Trying to stay up on the hype and on the hustle. Wait, stop. Okay. How many of y'all know that they're bootleg t-shirts they like to sell y'all at the concert? They ain't the damn official t-shirts or whatever. And they show you the good one. They sit up there and show you, okay, we got t-shirts. And then when you buy one, they give you one that's all rolled up. And by the time you unroll it, you realize it's a wop. Ask me how I know, child. Because I was at a Patti LaBelle concert in Detroit, honey, at the Fox. And the one guy, he had this cute little shirt on that they made. I was like, oh, that is so cute. And that's the one I wanted. So that's the one I thought I got. I said, this the one like that? He said, yeah. And it was, but it wasn't because it was fucked up. It was printed wrong. It was double vision and things. Patty's smile was crooked on the damn picture. I was pissed as shit. But the shirt was only like $5, $10 or whatever. And but again, I make it on that to say now the hustle is all about hustling you out your shit, how to get over on you. You know what I'm saying? Red, I see you. Come on up in here and talk to me.
What's up? What's up?
What you know no good?
Man, just trying to make shit happen, bro.
I feel you. I feel you, baby. Okay.
What's happening with you, bro?
You so goddamn stupid.
What?
Exactly. Because that's what it was.
Right.
That's exactly what it was. Uber Feets. Okay. Okay. I remember watching PBS 24 years ago, and the reporter was trying to understand the race problems. I was thrown back when they asked white people what they thought BLK, black people, caused their parents. Really? You know what? Don't make me do that because I'm that. Okay. Wait a minute. The white people didn't know. The reporter explained black people called their parents mom and dad. Shut up. Okay. Okay. And they were blown back, right? Right. Girl, stop. Where the chat nigga? Oh, are you saying you want to come up in here? Oh no. Okay. Right. Okay. Okay. Right. Exactly. No, and that's the other thing because see, Patty LaBelle, and you see how you spell that Patty? Right. Anytime I see that, I know it's a wow because Patty is Patti, and or somebody want to put an IE on the Pattie, and every time I see that, like, bitch, that ain't thing. Okay, and just like you did, I paid and got petty. Okay, no, they got petty and gave me Patty exactly. Okay, and that's what happened. But now the hustle is all about getting over on somebody. It's not about um it's not about
No customer satisfaction. Nobody cares about that.
yeah, and that's what it is. That's exactly what it is.
That's why companies want to start a consultation meeting with a consultant company because all when it comes to service in the United States of America now, it's not about serving your customers, it's about getting on to the next person. So in other words, instead of saying you got great service, no, you got served.
Huh. How about that? How about that? Okay. Okay. How about that? And there you have it. So again, when we're talking about new generation, okay, what else? Because see, I put down in business, okay, because let's look at business because we had our grandparents and great grandparents who did not have much more than a 10th grade education, okay, were able to build companies. Do y'all remember Johnson and Johnson, the guy who created Ebony and Jet magazine and Fashion Fair Cosmetics? Okay, I think they say he had a 6th grade education.
Did you know the whole story?
Give it to me.
He started in a garage in Chicago.
Yeah, right. Okay, it's right. I knew he was Chicago. Yeah,
In a garage.
in a garage. How about that?
See, a lot of the high schools in Chicago are vocational high schools.
Mm-hmm.
So you can go to these schools and get a trade, or you'll pick up a trade just from doggone socializing with people who go to these schools, because back then they made it so open that if your friend was in school and you was a dropout, you hanging out with your friend, he happened to go to his school to do a project after hours, you walk in there with him because we didn't have all the issues. So you had a doggone, you standing there watching your friend that actually goes to school, your ass a dropout, and you see him doing something, you picking up on something. A lot of us learn just by watching or learn by doing. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people can't sit in the classroom and get an education. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
This man right here, he found a common way he had a business mind. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
This jackass made it all the way to president. He purchased his entire education. So I mean,
boom. Okay. How about that? Wait a minute. I like this. This is my cousin. Our ancestors had the determination to find a way out of no way. How about that? And now, Shamana, where did we drop the ball? Now here we talk. This is what I'm talking about. Operation New Generation. Where did we drop the ball? Because we're the tail end of that. Our generation is the tail end of that mentality. So where do we lose it? Where do we drop the ball? Where do we get so comfortable in the fact that we it's not there anymore? You know what I'm saying? Is it laziness? Is it fear? Is it lack of determination? Is it we're looking for
that's
everything?
Not it. You're missing it. That's not it.
What is it?
It's dependency.
Okay.
The government came in and gave the black family everything they needed to replace the black man, and the black woman became brainwashed. And then all of a sudden, I don't need you. Ain't no good man. All black men ain't shit. Blah 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 blah, and destroyed all these communities because they took the crown of the king and gave it to the government handout.
Oh, some had a feeling of entitlement, some is fear. What you just said. She just yeah.
Right. You want to instead of praising your black king, you want to praise the 1st and 15th when your benefits come.
How about but then now here's the thing. Here's the thing, because now y'all know I've said this before, because we got a lot of pimp baller shot callers who now pick and choose because now they hear them. Okay.
All right.
So a lot of this, we have a lot of again, Operation New Generation. Let's talk about black men. I'm gonna get on the women in a minute. Okay, I'm gonna get on the women in a minute. But the reason why I want to stay here, because y'all know, when we bring him up, this particular conversation bothers me a lot because, if y'all did not hear my interview with Judge Joe Brown, honey, go on YouTube, because his whole idea is that he feels as though manhood is being attacked and it's being challenged and this, that, and the other. But yet he never had an answer for understanding what is it that we do, oh black man, when we see the brother out here who beating on his woman, who sitting around here, you keep fathering all these damn babies, and ain't nobody stopping your ass. Ain't nobody put you by the coattail or nothing, but instead we pat him on the back because you still shooting live bullets. Okay? And at whatever age, okay, we don't stop that kind of behavior. We encourage it. Okay? We don't stop.
And now when you're beating your woman up, they don't run up and say the woman, they do this.
Right. Uh-huh.
They go live with the ass whooping.
Right. Oh, say that. Okay. What you say? What you say? What you say?
They
what
go
you
live
say?
with the ass whooping.
What you say? Okay. What you say? Okay.
You got enough strength to hold up a phone, but you don't have enough masculinity to stop him from hitting that woman.
How about that? You know what? Wait a minute. Don't you make me holler. Don't you make me holler. Make me want to holler through both of my motherfucking hands. Don't you do that. Don't you do it, I say. Do not. Oh, that was good.
I'm just saying.
Now here's because see here, and as a black man, I understand what it is to feel the beat down, to feel the weight of the world on your shoulders. Y'all know we say this on a few occasions. As far as being a man or a male, let me say male, because I don't want to. I understand the plight of trans men, but I want to put that to the side just for a second. Okay, because the challenge is a little different. Being a male in this society. Okay.
I understand what you're saying, Meech, but at the end of the day, the masculinity of the black man has been proven to not.
Put your goddamn dress on, Judge. Put your goddamn dress on, Judge. You understand? You understand? Put your damn dress on. Okay. But here, I get it, because our society, we have allowed the narrative for particularly black males, but for males, period, that as long as we have that extra appendage between our legs, that there's not supposed to be nothing that we can't do. We're supposed to be infallible. We're supposed to be this pillar of strength, and we're supposed to know how to make shit happen.
That's
and
right.
All the times we have to learn it, because it's a process. There are things you have to learn in order to do it and to make it happen. And because of that, we're not supposed to ask questions. We're not supposed to sit down and, Lord help us if we crying over some shit. It's not supposed to be that. And
look in the warehouse. Look on the corner. Look at the liquor store. It's
right.
Super nigga.
Right. Okay. And because of that, the idea and the stress of all that becomes it becomes a burden, which is why A man's ego is more fragile than an eggshell. A man's ego is more fragile than an eggshell.
Well, some men are not all they're cracked up to be.
I'm gonna beat your crack ass. Crack kills. Crack killed Applejack. He jumped in and he couldn't jump back. I can't stand you. Wait a minute. Hold on. Wait a minute. Let me go. Comments. Yep, this country has a history of white males being threatened by their inner strength, by the inner strength of black males. Oh, of course, darling.
Lanier, what's happening?
Black men and women are being attacked. The existence of black excellence is being attacked. Of course. Now, cuz you know that has always been. The whole idea of black excellence, hell, it was stolen from us. All the things that we know, if y'all do y'all research to find out what black person made this thing and made this thing and made this and made that, it would blow your minds to some of the stuff that we have out here. How many of y'all know that the GPS system that we now use was created by a black woman? The fiber optic that we use for our telephones to carry on was made by a black woman. Okay, okay. So to sit down and you know, the whole it's becoming cliche. We know it's true, but it's also cliche for us to sit there. Well, we come from kings and queens and this, that, and other. And so now, you know, we're on this thing of making sure we call each other, hey, king, you know, all right, my king, what's up, my queen? And that's cute. It's cute, but it's also fodder. Because for me, it has no merit if you ain't saying it sincerely.
Not only that, don't call Ray Ray a king when he behind on child support.
Oh, God damn it. Oh, wait a minute. Wait. Oh, okay, you got me hollering. You got me hollering.
I'm just keeping it 100.
For no reason. You got me hollering for no reason. The new generation always wants something for nothing. They're lazy as hell. They don't want to work. That's all they're doing. And part of that is our fault because.
But hold on. How do you blame us for sense of entitlement-itis?
How? Because, listen, before it became popular, not are we taking it on? Cause we are taking on trailer trash mentality, girl. Okay, he coming up. I got you, baby. I'm gonna bring you in here in just a few minutes. Let me get to these comments. We take it on because see, I had to change my mind and my thinking on this because it used to piss me off back in the day. But then when baby clothes started costing the same amount as damn designer clothes, I was like, well, fuck it, get what you want. But it used to piss me off before folks started really making money off baby clothes. You know, because at one point in time, they only made money when it was Oshkosh B'gosh, you know, and it was, you know, the name brand shit.
Carter.
Okay.
Yeah.
If you sit down there and bought regular baby clothes or whatever, you know, you could get clothes. That's why you're handing them down or whatever, because you get them real inexpensively and carrying on. But then all of a sudden, when childbearing had become a fucking commodity, and folks started seeing the kind of money that can be made off of children's clothing, then we had this explosion. Because it pissed me off that folks sit down here because you're so busy trying to have a designer on your baby. Oh, I'm gonna go get him the little Tims. I said, what the hell are you gonna spend that kind of money for? And his foot is growing. His foot is growing. Why would you spend that kind of money on a damn baby shoe? And I used to say that for years until I was at the mall. Where was I? Was I at Fairlane or somewhere? And I walked my ass through here and I came across Buster Brown's shoe. Remember Buster Brown? I walked my ass up in here because I saw something cute. Now, I ain't had no babies on the way nowhere, but I just saw some cute little shit. Picked up this damn little ass shoe. The walkers. That goddamn shoe was $65. The basic white little starter
Hard bottom.
hard bottoms. $65 damn dollars. When I saw that, that was the same price that the damn Timberlands was costing, the baby Tims and all that. Same exact price. So I said, well, shit, if you're going to pay that kind of money, go on and get the damn what you want. You know?
Here's the problem with that, Meech. Here's the education problem. The hard bottoms actually doggone help set the feet correctly.
Right.
You put them in them damn commercial ass motherfucking designer shits, and they're gonna be knock-kneed, bow-legged, and pigeon-toed and tripping over their damn self.
Okay. Hey, let me bring Cal up in here. I was trying to get through all the comments, but y'all talking to Cal. Come on up in here. Cal, come on. While I pull up these comments, let me pull everybody out so everybody can see. I'm still going through these comments. Hold on. Now covering screen. You know I am, child. Okay. Amen. Come on, cuz. Personally, I feel that we as a people achieve more on terms of education and higher paying jobs. We tend to move out of the community and feel like we made it. I'm guilty of this to a point and know how many others and know many others as well. Now, you know what? Here's the thing. Part of that is conditioning as well, because we were taught that. We were taught that once you make some money, that means that you come out of this, and matriculation always meant that you left your community to us.
Wait a minute, what?
So
I wasn't supposed to move out the hood because I got a little coin?
No, I'm not saying you weren't supposed to, but the idea is that it was expected that you was.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
I'm not keeping it real.
No, that's from our people. We designed that one.
Okay, wait. What you say? And now catch it. Now, okay, now listen. Wait a minute, because y'all know I love bringing up television references.
Mm-hmm.
Let's go back to good times. Y'all remember when JJ was dating the little bitch girl, the black bitch girl? Okay. And carrying on, and she was really digging JJ. She was so much into JJ and carrying on, but her mom and daddy wasn't, because he was in the hood. And when they came up there, she came with a fur coat on and shouldered her way in, because they were in. And the two daddies got into it, and James was like, "Nigga, you done forgot where you came from." And he said, "You damn right, I forgot where I came from. I know what it was to bust my ass to get my ass up out here, and I don't want my daughter to know the stench of this place. You damn right, I want to forget."
Exactly.
Boom, and I couldn't fuck with that argument. I couldn't fuck with it. At the same time, I'm not fucking with it. I'm like, well, wait a minute. How do we make it better? And why is it that we have allowed our negative surroundings to define us? Why is it? I've always asked this question. I never got an answer for this. I was like, okay, we had colored-only water fountains and carrying on.
Yeah.
How come none of us went out there to clean the damn things?
Fear.
If they were nasty and carrying on like you say that they were, why didn't we go out there to clean them? We were the maids anyway.
Mm-hmm. But I think we didn't fear ourselves.
Did you leave? Red? Wait a minute. Red? Wait a minute.
I think he just went to go clean his sink.
Did you go clean your water fountain? Red? Hello?
Don't call me.
Hello? Hello, camera? Mr. Camera?
Yes, Lord.
I love it. Okay, I love it.
My thing too dirty. I'm sorry.
Is this single too dirty? He had to clean it real quick.
Okay, right. I never got an answer to that question. And then on top of it, here's where it is with us. Because I'm like, why is it that we accept that? And which is why now, to say affordable housing, those who got a little corner and bought their houses, they automatically have in their mind, oh, we're going to get these little motherfuckers to come up in here, and they figure to make our property value go down.
Can I touch on that?
Come on.
Um,
Come on with it.
and thank you everybody for having me back on the show, Director Chill. Um, politics is something that is deep in my soul because I'm a black man from a black mother and a black father who have been married for 38 freaking years. Okay, so don't you ever tell me that a black family doesn't stay together, and that's a whole nother topic for a whole nother situation. But I will tell you this: we, as a black culture, we were so programmed to think that a black man is a bad father. And just to give a little history tip on that, there were black men that were married to black women who had black kids, but they were owned by different slave owners. They might
Mm,
only saw their different slave owners on maybe Christmas or maybe Easter. Okay. So that started the divide right there. Um,
mm.
and then when Jim Crow became, I like,
The law of the land.
yeah, a law. I want to say, I want to call it a political move because if a lot of people haven't heard, and I like to say it again, when all the immigrants came over from Europe, the Irish got the police department, the Italians were the fire department, and the Jewish were the lawyers. They had nothing to do with the blacks, so the blacks were the slaves. And then when they ended slavery, the blacks, they created Jim Crow, right? And they put us in jail. So when I say, and you saw me say it in chat, um, we are a direct relative of our ancestors with what America has literally put us as individuals. Um, that is what I mean. Like they separated us from our wives from slavery, and then Jim Crow put us in jail, and then now it is. And as you go back to I'm gonna use the phrase sellout, right? So a
Okay.
black man gets some money. He's a baller, So I'm wearing my Kevin Durant Seattle Supersonic shirt right now. Like, you know, they call us a sellout. We get some money, we move out the hood. Okay. But if you really think about it, every other race has always done that. They always do.
They do it their way.
They do it their way, but no, but they do it the same way we do it, but they just don't have that negative connotation that we have as
Good,
okay, you move out your
good
hood,
point.
you should
Good
go back.
point.
I mean, think about this. I mean, I'm gonna throw the phrase out there and I'm gonna use the mafia as a reference, right? So you had the Italian mafia that came over from Italy and they came into New York, Staten Island, right? They started making money. They moved to Jersey. They moved to Vegas. Nobody called them sellouts,
Right.
right? They were doing the best for their people.
But you remember this, Chill, that nobody know. Do you hear any other nationalities that even carry the crabs in a barrel mentality? We hate on each other on the come up. We don't congratulate elevation in our race.
That's true.
You know what I'm saying? In their race, they have discussions like this in the Italian neighborhoods. Oh, did you see Marge in them new home? They have a lovely new 6-bedroom home. I can't wait till we're in a position to do the same. They told me that, and they gave me the number to their realtor that's going to help us do the same thing. You'll never hear those conversations in the black neighborhood because it's going to be like, yo,
That's
that
heat
nigga
right
done
there.
moved uptown. He one of them uppity niggas. He got a house. We work at the same job and everything. And I asked him 6 months ago for the number to the people who hooked him up, and he ain't gave it to me yet. That's crabs in a barrel.
Hold on.
That's
You know
true.
what? Hold on. Let me do this because see, here's something that I want to acknowledge. One of the things about the crab in the barrel kind of mentality is this. Oftentimes we say that, but one of the things about the crabs in the barrel is that neither one of them are trying to get out. The crab in the barrels, they are out of their natural habitat. So what they're doing is just trying to get their way to the top. It's not that they're trying to move everybody
No,
out the
that's
way.
the point. It ain't about moving them out, me. It's about what you
Right.
just said. Somebody getting to the top and the other one bringing you down.
I got that. But here's the point that I'm making is this. Oftentimes, the person at the top don't never want to go back down. So instead of them reaching back to grab up and to
Mm-hmm.
help the other grab up, okay, because everybody grabbing.
Yeah.
See, the one crab just happened to grab onto you and end up pulling you because he just grabbed it.
Yeah.
Instead of you reaching back to grab to pull up. Okay. And I say that to say that may be a little that way. It sounded kind of crazy. But I'm saying that because here's something that happens all the time. And okay, and we're in entertainment. Y'all know
Mm-hmm.
this about auditions. How many times did y'all sit up there, y'all supposed to be acting buddies or whatever, and you sit up there say they tell you, child, I was just on this audition. What audition? Oh, child, I just got this gig. So they just had, really? Oh, what is it an audition list? No. But honey, next time you get one, let me know.
Mm-hmm.
Or call me. We don't do that with actors and carrying on. We listen, what do? We sit up there, we say, nah, why should I tell you well this could be my opportunity? I got to learn how to do this for myself first. Let me go check it out. And then if it then and a lot of that comes from we get this from teachers. I got mine already. You need to get yours. It didn't come easy for me, so you got to learn how to make it the hard way too. And it's like, wait a minute, but you got information. Yeah, but I had to go look for it, so I'm gonna make you go look for it too. I've had several folks tell me that. Several folks tell me that. I didn't say I wanted you to give me a handout, bitch. I just said,
Mm-hmm.
who is this? I could do the rest if you just introduce me to him. Let me know what the fuck I'm up against. I could do the rest. I didn't say give me the hookup. This here is just the thing. I didn't tell you to go in there and tell your person to give me the deal that they gave you.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? How many of us we got little special friends or whatever? Listen, I'm gonna hook you up with my boy. Just give him my name. I didn't say tell him give you the information. Oh, I got this fat screen for $2 because we got the hookup like that. And I didn't say you gonna get the same deal. Okay. What this was I had information and I'm sending it to you so that you can sit down there and expand your territory. But we don't do that. We sit down there thinking that, oh, if I tell you, then it's going to sit down there and fuck up my shit.
And you're
Or
gonna
how
be
about
grabbing
this?
it down.
But
Uh-huh.
here's the same quarter. I gave you the heads. Let me give you the eagle side of that damn quarter. You try to do it, but the fucker that you try to hook up gets up here running his motherfucking mouth and don't do right. How many times did y'all got somebody registered on the job or hook somebody up to get a job,
Yeah.
and then their behavior fuck up your credibility because now they done sit up here acting a motherfucking monkey on the damn job, and everybody looking at you like this is what you recommended.
You know what, Meech and ATF, you don't mind if I spit on this real quick. You know what? I think a lot about that on the premises of where a lot of races are, depending on what their I hate to I don't want to say their talent level, because we all have those racial, those racial things that we say that an Asian is good at math, and a guy is good at law. But what I have learned from my kids is that you know eh, us being black, we're very proud people, but
Yeah.
at the same time, we have started the race so far behind that we honestly feel in our soul, and I think it's been pre-programmed into our subconscious, that if we give anybody that, hey, just go on this website, sign on to this, whoop de whoop whoop wop, you're gonna get this right here. I think we really have that mentality that, okay, I this was a blessing that God gave me from me and my family. And now if I give it to somebody else before I fully, you know, grasp all those blessings, then I'm gonna lose it. But then I always think about this, because I'm from a mixed race family. I always think about this. We are 400 years behind.
Right.
So we can't always sit up here and say, Man, like I've been putting in this hustle. I spent all these years, Meet, I spent 15, 20 years in the music business and then switch over to the video business, you know. But I think it's also a subconscious thinking that we have been programmed as people. And I'm not going to say as black people. I think Asians have been sub-programmed into other things. Like if you had an Asian producer come to your studio trying to make beats, you probably would have stepped back until
Right,
Pharrell brought his boy in, right?
right,
And I
right,
and I
right.
think I think that's something like I would say in sports. I have a cousin, Montez Sweat, that plays for the Washington Redskins, and I have a cousin who's a coach for Portland Pelicans basketball. Right? I don't really feel the need to be reluctant to ask them questions about, hey, what is a college coach or professional coach asking? Because us as blacks, that's been our genre of financial stability. Now,
Hmm.
if I would have had a cousin that was like, in the finance or an accountant or a stock market, I might have been a little bit more reluctant. So I think as much as we want to down on ourselves, as far as like, some of us want to hold each other. I wouldn't say hold each other back, but I would say necessarily make sure that we take care of our families. Because at the end of the day, that's what this is. There's not a
Hmm.
man of color, a woman of color, or any sexual relation or, you know, or choice that is not trying to make their family better. But I think they all have their different avenues, knowing that this is a clear line to my genre of financial stability to my family. And I
Hmm.
think when we really dive in that, I mean, because you can think, I mean, years ago, I mean, I would say 20 years ago, all the blacks like, oh no, I just got on with this record label. I ain't gonna tell you how I did it or how many emails I had to send or who A&Rs or knocking on front doors or I'm Kanye West and I'm downstairs every day at Jay-Z when he gets some. You understand what I'm saying? So I think that is also something we have to take the time frame in reference to how many years we've been doing this, or now I won't say necessarily doing it, but until we had an opportunity. It's a sad thing when you still see, and you said it earlier, Meech, how is it it's 2021 and I didn't even know until 2 weeks ago that Georgia is just now having their first black female senator. And I was down here during Freaknik and all those other years, and you would swear, Mayor Shirley Franklin, you would swear that the blacks ran the community. So I think I won't say we have to, I'm not going to say we have to tread lightly, but I think we have to take that into account when it comes to um, the reason why we have these ideas on not helping someone. Because at the end of the
But a
day,
lot of it is perception, Chip. Because
mhm,
if you know a lot of conversations that you would have with, if you have a couple of African brother, American brothers, either playing sports, breaking bread, you know what I'm saying, working out or whatever, and they're having a
mhm.
conversation, you can ask one of those that is more successful than the other. Like, okay, man, how did you get to that platform? You know what I'm saying? I see you, develop some new software, this, that, this, and that. They don't ever just say, well, okay, I took these doggone algorithms and I studied them like this. They don't give you that information. They give you this.
Ah,
The answer they give you is, man, it was a long road and a hard time to travel, bro, to get there, but I made it.
But here's the thing, though, Red. This is what I'm saying. 400 years ago, this is the same thing that Caucasians were saying to their kids. It's a long road travel. You got to go to Harvard. You got to go to Harvard. You got to go to MIT. They had 400 years a head start. And we're just now really getting, I won't say just now. I mean, remind ourselves that I am 30, about to be 38 years old this year. My parents were in high school and middle school when they segregated. So the same people that said that blacks couldn't read and couldn't go to college, they're still alive. So we're just so far behind as far as being able to do that I think that's where the mentality comes from.
That's why
I'm
so many of us are getting our degrees at a later age than the doggone Caucasian families were.
Right, right.
So that you makes a lot of sense. You're a very smart guy, dude.
But let me say this, because see, you said something here that I think it shows the difference. Because even though they had a 400-year head start or whatever, you said something very pivotal that we don't do. It's the same argument with the twist. Yes, it's a long, hard road, but you got to go to Harvard. You got to go here. They give information.
Mm-hmm.
They set up the blueprint. When we get to asking folks, oh, look, it's hard work and dedication. You just got to be down for the struggle, baby. You got to put the work in. You get general answers, but no information. They don't even point you to, and now that we got Google, a lot of this stuff we can learn on our own if you take the time to sit down to Google it.
Mm-hmm.
But there are certain things. I do this all the time because I like to research. Being on the debate team, I used to research what's my thing. But one of the things is that now, let's take statistics for instance, because I'm always looking at trying to find these numbers. You got folks like Candace Owens and all these black white folks, as I like to call them. I don't like to say Oreos because that's one of my cookies, and no, I'm not going to desecrate the cookie. Okay. Oh, that was cute. But when they want to sit down here and quote stats, well, did you realize that 53% of and they got these stats, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, where you find these goddamn statistics? Okay, what is your sourcing? Because every time I go to try to look for these same statistics, honey, I don't get what you coming up with. So where's your sourcing? Or trying to find information on how to look this up and how to get this. Once upon a time, there was a company called PICK, P-I-C-K. And it was there that you could go buy your mailing lists.
Mm-hmm.
Okay?
I remember that. Yes.
You can buy your mailing list if you were sitting up there trying to target a demographic, if you were sitting up there handing out stuff. See, I come from an era where when we were sending out headshots and resumes trying to get a damn gig, you had to send them out. We actually had to spend the money to mail that shit.
Yes.
Okay. And for it to go on deaf ears. So when you talk about you pay the cost, yes, you literally paid the cost. Because shit, you had to buy mailers and get your headshot done and then, get the cardboard back to go in envelope so that the folks stamps or this, that, and other. And at that time, to mail a yellow envelope was 78 cents.
Yeah, the Manila joint.
Yeah. Yeah.
I was stacking them things off when I was doing my job, sir. Stacking them things.
Okay. Yeah,
absolutely.
So now, coming from that particular era, you sit down there and you're like, there used to be where you can find information. Then trying to get folks to sit down there and say, hey, how do I do this? They at least led you in the right direction. Now folks don't even give you information. And we don't do that to one another. We don't sit down there and at least attempt a blueprint. We give so many general optics, to where it becomes like you at a church service or whatever. Oh, won't he do it? Oh, yeah, you got to put your faith out there, because faith without works is dead. You can't be slovenly for God. Put it all in Jesus' hands and watch God move. They that wait upon the Lord shall renew their strength. See, we get all that. I'm like, okay, that's cute. But in the meantime, I still got to get this. I got to find out where to work. So where the hell do I go? If I didn't know anything about agencies or whatever, you telling me I have to be a part of the union, SAG, AFTRA, oh, wait a minute, because you got the screenwriter, the Screen Actors Guild, and then the Writers Guild.
Yeah.
The American Federation for Radio and Television Arts, that's AFTRA. Then you have there's one for stage managers in Canada. There's a union for stage manager. Everything is broken down. But if you don't know that, you ask somebody, okay, what do I do? How do I go about doing this? Is that how many times have y'all spent money? I'm talking to entertainers because I don't know why I'm going here, but it's got to be for somebody. How many times Have you gone into somebody where they try to they hold these little seminars to tell you how to get started
Mhm.
in business? Okay, how you could be a working actor, and
At
every
me.
time you go,
Mhm.
everything they tell you is shit that you already know. They tell you about how to get your resumes, how to find a photographer, make sure that you address the casting directors. You know,
Yeah.
basic shit. They
But
don't
they
tell.
do that with artists as well. I mean, I'm sure Chill knows this. They have those seminars and those big time
Oh
things where
yeah.
you pay all this money and then
BMI.
be a whole weekend thing. And then when you by the time you go spend the weekend, the most you done have maybe networked with a few people you never met before, but the knowledge you already had.
You know what? I like to use this reference. My son, he plays football. Okay. I coach him, I train him, and I do workouts with him every single day. And he will sit up here and he'll do them and he'll do them and he'll look at me with that dumbfounded statement on his face as if I don't know what I'm talking about. Okay.
Right.
The reason is, and this is how I'm gonna transform it to the music industry, which I know a ton about, and I realized that the entertainment industry, as far as film, is the same thing. They don't believe it until they hear it from someone else. My son, he just started football on Tuesday. They're working out. He's at the high school. I go and I said, "You learn anything new?" He said, "No." So exactly what you said, Red, and exactly what you said, Meech. Do you learn anything new? Nope. Same thing you've been teaching me. But here's the thing. By the time they started teaching the average African American, let's just go back to, I like my mom, like every time I go to her house, she's watching Cadillac Records. By
Okay.
the time they start talking about contracts and all that, we were already surpassed. We started so late. ASCAP, BMI, we started so late. So yeah, they have these, let's sit down and let's talk, and you need to get your royalties and all this. You know, we started as an individual entity, and I won't say as blacks or rappers or singers, but we started so late, and I want to say it's more a classism than it has to do with race, for the fact that if you didn't have money and your dad didn't already have an accounting degree, or he was not already knew how to publish, or he was not a writer, you had no idea. So if you transform that back to what I said in the previous segment, is we started 400 years late. By the time they started doing 1990 ASCAP things, or ASCAP meetings, or BMI, or
The
audio
BMI, yeah,
engineering,
BMI council, all this, yeah.
we were so behind. Matter of fact, by the time that I learned about royalties, that was the time that Napster had already taken over MP3s from CDs.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
That is
Yeah.
how late. So, like I said, we started so far behind. And then what they want to use is this narrative is, oh, well, they don't work hard. No, it's not the fact that we don't work hard. It's the fact that we didn't have the opportunity to be engulfed in this stuff. They weren't, think about this. They weren't doing any conference meetings or open mics back then. They started at after the hip hop industry and the video industry had already started making capital in the urban areas. Back in the 70s, and I love the Cadillac Records reference, is that by the time that they came in, they had already started taking our lyrics. They
Yeah.
were already putting white people on the front of the covers of the records. There were no black people on the front of the cover of records. They didn't even realize that whoever wrote the Beatles records was not your boy from Mississippi,
Right.
And so
Right. Right.
and I always want to say this, if I was a grown man at 30 years old and my daughter started riding a tricycle at 7, she would be better riding a bike at 5 than I would be at 32, because you got the game earlier. So I, I don't want to say that, I never want to say that we're ignorant of the fact, because now what we're seeing in the economic landscape of American culture and actually all around the world is that they're realizing, oh my God, they done figured it out. That is what's angering America.
Well, I mean,
because now
you gotta
we done.
you don't want to use the word or narrative of ignorance, but if you use it in the proper context, ignorance is not knowing. You know what I'm saying? Ignorance is not a derogatory word. If people take it as that, they use it as such because it sounds like you snapping or
It sounds hard.
it sounds harsh, but at the same time, you're absolutely correct. So, you know what I'm saying? We are ignorant to the fact of certain things, just like other nationalities are ignorant to the fact of certain things with us. We all carry some source of ignorance. You know what I'm saying? But hey, it is what it is. When you're behind, be a smashed tomato, catch up. You know what I'm saying? This be what it is. That's what I mean.
I mean, you could never. I mean, let's just be like logical about the situation. You could never sit down with 5 minutes left in a test on 100-word test and get a better score, even if you knew every single answer, because you would not have enough time to answer all the questions.
Right.
Put something on the page, baby. Make a 50. Your name is right.
Let me go to the comments. Let's see. Listen, spending all that money on kids growing up makes no sense to me. My son's aunt and uncle purchased him 2 pairs of Jordans for Christmas. He's 6 years old and will only wear them for 2 months. Makes no damn sense to me. I don't need to keep up with the hood Joneses. Girl, exactly.
I still buy Jordans. I wear 13s. Holler.
Okay. You know, we both good at using our television watching hours in our discussions. Spend that money on more educational items. You know what? That's good, but let's look at what it is, because see, now the educational items, shit. Are they really educational items? And then how do we spark the interest of our kids? See, let me say this, because see, I'm very big on wanting to reprise Schoolhouse Rock. Okay.
I feel you.
Yeah.
I'm very big on wanting to reprise that. And the reason being is because that there came on. Okay, for those who didn't think you could learn something from TV, the Cosby Show, Fat Albert and the Cosby Kids, that there was William Henry Cosby Jr.'s, aka Bill Cosby. That there was his thesis statement. That was his project for his doctorate. Okay. He set out to prove that we can take the television and use it as an educational tool. Okay. I read that in an interview years ago. And when that there was how that derived. So we had this wonderful concept. We got entertainment, we got cartoons, it was kid friendly, and we always had a moral of the story to where it showed us what it was, and this, that, and the third. Schoolhouse Rock came, and we were able every Saturday morning, honey. We was able to sit down here. You learn your timetables. You learn interplanet planning, honey, and understanding the solar system and all that. Yeah. Okay, another necessity. Where would we be, honey? Okay, learning about inventions and carrying on. That there was a way and a means of education, and it was fun. Yeah. And here, one of the things about us is that I need for us as a people to get creative. When rap and hip hop started and everybody, was trying to make the connection with school and carrying on, because teenagers was dropping out of school because they just didn't get it. And y'all remember 227 when Sandra and them got to doing the little rap thing about the stock market crash and all that kind of shit.
Out the window. Yeah, the little apartment joint. Yep.
Because of that, we as a people ought to take back and have our education and stuff redone, because the educational items nowadays, child, what are they? Because most of the games, what are they teaching? Because a lot of the stuff, honey, is not really teaching anybody that's going to take them to the next level.
The problem I got with the problem, I don't have a problem with that, because what you're saying is 100% real and it's true. But what the problem I got is, I've been recording music and engineering, producing a long time before I got my degree.
Right.
And I created a song years ago because of that platform and the way we came up learning. It was a song came out and it was called All the Way Turned Up. It was one of the hottest hip hop songs ever.
Okay.
It was just, DJ Turn Me Up, all that stuff. Okay.
Yeah.
I rewrote that song, changed a few chords in the doggone track, and tried to get the Board of Education here in Georgia to doggone back it for the young kids to teach them the alphabet.
Right.
And nobody would take it serious. Nobody would pay attention. And I totally did everything and mixed and mastered. It was called It's Alphabet Time Now.
Okay.
And I really went in there and spent my own money. I did everything. And it was like, it's alphabet time now. Teacher, call me up so I can show the math. You know what I'm saying? And it was like A, B, C, D, you know what I'm saying? Same letters and the Apple Jacks. I had the whole thing later, you know what I'm saying? So I had it all the way to Z. And every time I stopped, you know what I'm saying, and did a break, it was like, it's alphabet time now. They'd have sung that and they'd have went home and knew the entire alphabet.
Yep.
You know, and in that, you know, as far as reading and carrying on, we don't encourage folks to read anymore because now everything now is a stream. Okay, we don't even read no more. We get audio books. Okay.
Well, I just said that tonight to my stepdaughter when I told her, I said, you know what, you got stuff going on where you need to read. I said, oh, excuse me, you can Google it because you you know what I'm saying. It's like Google and YouTube, everything. I'm like, come on, bro. At the end of the day, you want to hit the button so the doggone computer can read it to you.
How about that? I say it often. We are one of the worst enemies of we.
Yep.
See there? How about that? Okay, I remember this Asian woman fooled the so-called smart business owners into giving her money, their money, to double their money. They thought she was an accountant. She wasn't. They trusted her because she was Asian. Exactly.
I told you.
Ponzi, Ponzi. Yes, loving this high-level conversation. Thanks, Meech, for bringing Director Chia into our midst. Okay, thank you. Yes, please return Schoolhouse Rock. Okay, I'm just a bill. Yeah, I'm only a bill, and I'm sitting here on the wheel. How about that, honey?
Bars.
Okay.
Right.
How about that? Okay, backward cartoons on Saturday were entertaining and educating. Hello. I still hear Schoolhouse Rock songs in my head, and I'm about to turn 50, so it worked. Hello. That's the whole point. That there is what I'm talking about. Because, see, listen, how many of us will sit down here and remember a loaf of bread, a container of milk, and a stick of butter?
Mm-hmm.
And a stick of butter. Okay. About memory. Okay. And she said it to a brother, and we got the whole thing. A loaf of bread, a container of milk, and a stick of butter.
Meats, and I'll tell you just real quick. So my youngest daughter, she's in kindergarten, and we're in the suburbs. But the best way that they use to teach these kids sight words, alphabets, it's rhymes.
Yes.
They won't give us any credit, but it's rhymes.
It's rhymes, yeah.
Right. Okay.
They won't remember the basic flow, but they will remember the rhyme flow.
Exactly.
Exactly.
Right.
That was prose, honey. That's what made poetry so sweet, honey. Okay. Now you know me. You know I'm different. I'm going to find the items that will teach my baby. His best gift is the Shifo Pluggo. Okay. It teaches him reading, counting, and building. Oh, really? Okay. I don't know that toy, but okay.
Now, hold on. Okay. Do you remember something that came out? That was my song right there. Remember that thing came out? It was called Your Baby Can Read?
Yes.
Okay, let me tell you something, bruh. I used to look at that and be like, yeah, whatever, and blow that commercial off and advertisement. And then I met this little 5-year-old little boy. 5-year-old little boy, Saturday morning. We're in the barbershop. You know, the fellas, that's the you know what I'm saying, the black council meeting on Saturday. Okay, we there. All right, so you know what I'm saying, we said, and the young little 5, he get his first haircut, right?
Right.
His dad standing there, and the little boy, he said, he betting he don't have betting and everything. He said, oh, he said, somebody didn't count the change right. He said, man, my son can count better than you. He was like, no, he can't. He only can't. He said, he's 5 years old. What that man know about counting money? He said, you count to 100. He said, if he counts to 100 right now, clearly, he said, you know what I'm saying, they bet on it. So we sitting there like, these fools is crazy. Did you know this little boy counted to 100. But not only did he count to 100, every time he said a number, he spelled it.
Ooh.
Okay.
All the way
How
to
about
100.
that?
He spelled it at 5. But what got me, I said, yo, I said, yo, I tugged his dad. I'm like, bro, I said, what school did he go to? He said, that's not school. I don't give credit to school. I bought that your baby can read. And he said, we sit up all the time. He said he put on his headphones and he put the headphones on him and he turned it on. And he said every time he's excited, he just fake laugh. He said he's got nothing going on in his. Everything is going on in his.
Wow.
Okay.
So he thinks he's spending time with Pop and they listen to the same thing.
Right.
So he absorbed. So he's killing 2 birds with 1 stone. He's educating him.
Right.
So that's letting him think like, okay, education is important because my dad is doing it with me.
Mm-hmm.
I said, I looked at that dude. I said, man, hats off. I didn't even know that brother. I was like, hats off.
Yeah.
But,
And I'm glad you did that, because that's another thing that we have to do is start encouraging folks when they're doing right. I did that to my neighbor just a few days ago. I never knew in my apartment complex that on this wall, on the other side of that wall, honey, is they have like 2 or 3 kids over there. Okay. Never, ever did I know that. Okay. And I said, I just want to give y'all kudos, honey, because y'all did something that I thought was fucking impossible. Okay. And that there is, I never knew that there was children living over here in this damn thing. And we share this wall. That's everything, you know. And it may seem trivial to y'all because I'm saying it, but if y'all live in apartment complexes or 2-family flats, y'all know kids are kids.
if I had $1 for every time I went up the steps and knocked on the door and said, what in the hell?
Right. Okay.
That's why I live on the top floor at the apartment.
You know, and carry it on. And then for us to be on this same wall, so we're right here. Okay. So that there was everything. But you have to encourage parents when they're doing good, because we already know that parenting is a thankless job anyway. So hell, if somebody doing something good, like, damn it, you all right with these kids.
Yeah.
You know, and carry it on and just encourage that, because that's what it is. That see that just like what you just said. Dealing with the fact that a man is sitting down, I'm a crybaby anyway, but when I see black men, particularly black men with their kids, child, please, I can stick my chest out and carry on, but go on, daddy. Okay.
Let me tell you something real quick. I don't know if I said this in the last stream, but you know, I have 2 white adopted kids, and I live in the suburbs of North Cobb County. And I'd hate to say it, but the most joy I get is when we walk into the Ingles and I got my 2 white kids and sometimes my mixed daughter Mariah. You seen the diva, and I walk up in there and I see everybody, and you know, you can feel it. You can feel it. And I see them turn around with that on their face.
Yeah.
And then my son or my daughter will say, "Hey, Daddy, can I drive the buggy?" And they will literally just flabbergast. And then and it makes me remind myself that, and I always want to put this into the world, that you know, black men have had a stigmatism brought on by the white culture on that we are not good fathers. Now, I'm gonna tell you something. I would be a good father if my kids were black or white. I have 2 mixed kids. I have 2 white kids. But let me tell you something. I am still the man that my mother raised me to be.
Thank you.
And that's all that matters. And they look at me like, yeah. And it gets them.
Man,
and so sometimes I'm like, hey, y'all want to go to Dollar General and spend some dollars? You know, like daddy needs a little booster seat. You know what I'm saying? I just want to get my swag on real quick.
I got a son that up to about 11 years old, nobody knew his mother. We were married, all in the same house. But the schools, the counselors, the specialists, the doggone doctors, they didn't know it. They just kept looking like they thought I was a single parent. But she worked so much and did, you know what I'm saying, my schedule. I have my own schedule because I always made my money in music and doing what I, you know what I'm saying, I do. So it used to irritate her, like I don't punch a clock, but I make more money than her. So but it was just,
Right.
But I didn't.
That part.
It freed up my time for my child, and then my child had special needs, so it was just weird because when I started making her go on her off days or something, and we got a doctor's appointment or a counselor appointment, it used to be weird to walk into a clinic, right? My son's autistic, you know what I'm saying? So we walk into a clinic and they come out and they speak to him, "Hey, Trey, how you doing?" And he high five and walk on by. He knows the routine. And for a specialist or doctor to go, "Oh, hey, is this mom?"
Mm-hmm.
Right.
And you see the look on the faces of the other parents in the room.
Right.
You know, I'll tell you. I'll tell you a very funny story. My firstborn, my biological son, was with my ex. You know, we were very copacetic when she had my son. This was before I met my wife. He's about to be 8 this year. Um, but when he was born, you know, she had to have a C-section. So I was there for the whole week after she had him. And so the doctor and the nurses came in every day for 5 days straight saying, his skin's too brown. I think he has jaundice. And as soon as they would leave, I would bust out laughing, just thinking about like the ignorance of people just thinking they really thought my son had jaundice just because, yes, all your other kids are white, but there's a black man that's been here so I took a whole week off of work. I was there every single day. There was nothing wrong with him. They kept him in a hospital for 6 days because they thought he had jaundice. And finally, on day 7, her husband at the time, and this is a long story short and a short story long. If you want to get into this one, we can have another conversation. He finally said, "That's his biological dad. I'm not." And that day, out the hospital. When I say the ignorance is bliss, but I would also say that
You got to be fucking kidding me.
no, I'm not. No, I swear to God, I'm not kidding you.
Done, honey.
I'm not kidding you. This is Doug. This was matter of fact, they live in Douglasville. So this is the Douglasville. Matter of fact, this is the Powder Springs Hospital, right there on Powder Springs and where Barrett meets, right?
I know
Yeah.
where.
South Cobb. Matter of fact, South Cobb High School. I swear to God. And I'm telling you.
I filled in coaching over at South Cobb High School.
Yeah, so you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Right across from the Walmart and the QT, right there. And I was younger then. My son's 8. So like I said, I was 30. I was 30. I just turned 30 when he was born. And I didn't realize the power that I would have as a black man, knowing that there would be some people out there thinking that just because the color of my skin, I wouldn't be a great father. Meanwhile, my mother and father have been married. Like I said, they're going on 39 years this year. And my grandparents were married 62 before they both passed away last August. You know, but people would look at the color of your skin and think that you are less of substance just because of what what their tradition has taught them. And so like I always like to bring it back into the current day era with us. What's always going on in the world right now is that the same people who wanted segregation and separate bathrooms and um uh water sinks, and the ones who sick dogs on us, they're still alive. And so I love the power that I have as a black man, not saying something but saying nothing and having someone else say it for me.
You know, it's crazy. They say if you make a statement in silence, it's louder than being amplified.
Hello.
So
I agree.
Don't hate on my audible books, but point taken. I'm not hating on them, honey. It's just that what happens is children sit down there and instead of reading, honey, we've allowed ourselves to let the microwave mentality permeate through us.
See, Beach, what Eric don't understand is we earned audiobooks.
Yeah, we've earned it. Yeah.
They need to earn audiobooks. Right.
We grew up with your typewriter.
Earned that shit, honey. Right. Yeah. We appreciate it. We understand. And see, I can't listen. I am not one who I can't stand them damn Kindles. Okay, because I can't listen. If I want to read a book,
Yeah, I
I
like the
need to
flip
get
pages.
intimate with the book. I need to feel the book. I need the pages.
I
Okay.
feel you.
I need to break the spine, honey, when I open it up. Okay. I need
Mhm.
to get mad because I lost my page and then flipping it. I need all
Well,
that.
I mean,
Okay.
well, to us, as I'm saying, I don't know how y'all all feel, but I don't feel ownership in the education or what I'm absorbing from a book unless I'm holding it.
Right.
It's
Right.
different. It's different. It's something about flipping those pages that make you intimate on about the next chapter in your life. When you read an audiobook, you can't talk about the next chapter in your life because it's just one continuous, sequence. And
Right.
I love audiobooks, don't get
You
me
know,
wrong, but it's
and now,
I
now for
find
me,
something that I'm majorly interested in. I need to feel that book.
yeah.
yeah. Now for me, now what I get off on is reading my book with the audio. See,
I haven't done that yet,
oh my
but
God,
I haven't
yeah.
multitasked on that level.
See, here's where it is. Cause see, what now? When my best friend and I used to live together, we used to sit down and part of our evening, honey, we sit down, we'd get some liquors, some cocktails or whatever, and we would sit down, turn off the lights, and have our reading light on, and we would read a book out loud. Okay, at that time we were reading B-Boy Blues. Was it B? No, not B-Boy Blues. It was Just As I Am. Elan Harris, his first one.
Okay.
We would sit in the living room on the floor, honey, and we would take turns reading the book. We'd go chapter by chapter, and
Hmm.
then we were able to. We took the journey with the book chapter by chapter out loud. Taking an audio book and reading it with the book, it takes you on that journey with you. Okay, especially if
Mhm.
it's read by the artist or by the author.
Yeah.
Okay, because it gives it you get to hear them do it and carry it on,
Yeah, because
and then
he's narrating. He's giving a narrative.
yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
yeah.
That first person
And,
narration.
and, and
Yeah.
that, exactly. And see, you're a filmmaker, so you know what that is. First person
Hmm.
narration for a documentary, baby.
You can
And
feel it.
it allows you to see the pictures because you get to see it come to life, even more so than what you would just reading it yourself. See, by
Mm.
yourself, it allows your imagination to foster and to roam and to move and things. And then you can hear yourself, because if you don't read out loud to yourself, you can hear yourself saying the words and you get lost into it and shit. Or, you get into the point because I know I talk at the movies and shit. So I know in the book, y'all should see me reading the book.
Me too.
Okay. Y'all should see me in the book. I mean, bitch, you did not. Okay. And you
Right.
got to flip the page. Bitch, okay, did you take a throw the book? Just motherfucker. You
Like
know,
it's somebody in
Crazy.
the crowd
yeah,
just
It was crazy
yeah.
because my wife, me and my wife, right? We read the series, all the 50 Shades series when they came
yeah,
out.
Yeah.
yeah.
That was our nighttime thing when we go after we get into bed.
Oh, that's hot. That's
So
hot.
we read it together though through each one.
Hot.
Oh my god! So it was a
That's
whole
hot.
other thing. It was all it was
Right.
right.
Right. And see see, this is a whole nother show because I'm gonna talk about I'm gonna do a show now about intimacy on different levels because
I
see
like that.
that there, my God,
Yeah, that was.
you know,
I
because
still
that's the meeting
remember
of the
those nights. Those
mind.
nights are memories.
Though that's a meeting here.
Yeah.
Hmm.
It's a meeting here because if we connect here, I tell you, education, honey, is the biggest and most glorious aphrodisiac for me.
Absolutely.
Okay. Oh, okay. Let me leave that alone. I'm gonna go here.
I
I
feel
have a
you.
CD of Schoolhouse Rock performed by rock alternative artists that is dope, and I know that CD. Yes, I know it. I need that in my collection. Yes. Love the night we played all the Schoolhouse Rock jams before Facebook put the plug. Hi, haters. Yeah, they did, child. Yes, I heard that one. Three is the magic number was my jam on that. Okay, exactly. That is brilliant. Okay, starring Chill as the black field drumming. I love it. What you talking about, Eric? Dr. Chill, you're a grown ass man out here. Salute, my guy. Hell yeah. Okay. I enjoy both book and electronic media as well. But see, you're a media person, so and again, you've earned that, child. You've earned that. I enjoy audible books, particularly those read by the author themselves. Doing the Barack Obama book now, much more powerful in his own words. Okay, yeah. I feel the exact same way about going to a record shop and actually picking up the CDs and albums versus ordering MP3s online or on Amazon. A lost art. Pride, a deeper love. Pride, a deeper love. A deeper love. Whoa, 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 whoa. Okay, people, let me tell you. Understand? I have gotten comfortable with MP3s because of what I do digitally and got to have music move and things. I don't like MP3s and carrying on as far as trying to download a song. If I'm going to buy an album, I need the album or the CD because I'm a bitch who like to read the liner notes. Okay, I need the liner notes.
I've been such a music head my whole life, Mitch. I miss this. Being aware of what's coming out next, you know, being into music, DJing, promoting, producing, engineering, all of it, you know what I'm saying? I've always been aware of the dates that certain singles were dropping.
Yes.
I was the guy standing in front of the doggone store before the owner even gets there to stick the key in the lock.
Listen, that there was so fun. Desiree and I used to do that all the time at White's Records, baby.
I get up early in the morning.
And around the corner from White Records.
I used to stay one block and a half, one block, turn right, a half a block in the center of the block right there. From you can literally step to the corner of the record store and see my house down the street. I used to walk and I'll be sitting there and that man pull up and he get out and he just be laughing. And he said, you know, you got to be my best customer. He said, what's coming out today? He said, because he said, I got the list. He said, but what are you looking for? He said, because you must know something like that. He said, he kept me all the time. I want to give you a job so bad, but you're not old enough to work in here. And that's what he said, because he said, I never had nobody out there with me. I always was the only one sitting there waiting for him to pull up and open that door because I know what date was coming out for the people that I was following.
Don't you know it? That was so much
fun. I told you Melvin Riley owed me child support.
Okay. That was so much fun because it gave us something. We had something to look for and to expect.
Yeah.
You know, we had something to look for. Again, Operation New Generation. That's going on into relationships and carrying on. How we treated business and how we treated ourselves and how we look at our entertainment. We had something to look forward to. The media event for me was knowing Wonder Woman was dropping on Christmas. Y'all know that became a spectacle.
Oh, I saw the trailer.
Oh, I remember it. I
saw the trailer probably before you because of my AMC plug. And when I seen it, I showed it to my wife and she said, oh my God. I said, I'm not gonna say nothing. I'm gonna wait and see. I'm gonna wait.
Yeah. I caught that bitch on YouTube, honey. All the installments. I caught the very first one, the small one. I got all the clips. I said, okay. And then when they finally said a release date, and we in pandemic mode, I said, fuck it. We're gonna get masked up and carried on. I'm going up in here because I need to see this on the big screen. HBO Max was cute, but I need to see this on the big screen. A lot of folks don't like it, but I loved it because I got it. Okay, and that taking my bias out of it, I got it. But there was so much fun. And again, I think that the new generation, see now that they're dropping MP3s and stuff, and then we got spoiler alerts and things. You know, the internet does sit down there, shit that wasn't supposed to be out, end up dropping accidentally on purpose or whatever.
And that's what killed me when the MP3 world, because you didn't have no accidents. And even if they got sent to those record shops or CD shops early, they didn't open it to the date.
Exactly. Oh, yeah, right. Okay.
It will be sitting behind the counter in
right there.
And they can't sell you shit.
Oh, and you start looking about, oh my God, what is that?
I used to tell him all the time. What I'm talking about. I used to tell him all the time. And I used to look out, and I'm be nosy. I'm looking over the counter. I see the boxes that came in, right? And I'm like, well, what's that right there? He just started laughing at me all the time. He said, "What?" He said, "You need to work here." He said, you know that's new stuff. He said, the problem, I can't. He said, I want you to have it so bad, but I can't give it to you next week. And I said, next week. I said, what day? As soon as he said, tell me what day, I go like this, and I turn around and tell him, oh, that's doggone Dream Boy. And like that, it dropped next week. I said, he looked at me like, well, he said, boy, he said, how you know? I said, man. I said, for some reason, I was the young lad that kept up with all the intimate doggone couples with music.
See, how about that?
Program that came out, I had it.
See, now definitely feel you on that, Pride Hunter. Something about hearing that album on wax that you just can't duplicate. No, because you get to absolutely hear it, and of course, all of us that took sound and stuff, so we know the difference between a WAV file and an MP3, and you know how they cut the sounds and this, that, and the other. You miss all of that vinyl, honey. Oh my God! And I see vinyl was trying to make a reprieve. They're trying to bring vinyl back as collector's items and carrying on. They
you see the one on my mantle, right?
Yeah. Okay.
Somebody bought me a vinyl reprint of one of my favorite artists, Chill, as a gift, and it's up there. I have a collector's item of the Purple Rain album that's not open.
Oh my God. I was just singing this to my kids. I told y'all last time that I always try to make sure I do my old school dad due diligence, and I make him listen or watch a movie. And I was singing Purple Rain the other day, and my son was looking at me, and this is my white son, of course. And he was like, what are you talking about? Purple Rain, boy. And I was like, man, you have no idea. Like, Prince was that. Michael was my guy, though. Don't get me wrong. My number one artist of all time was Michael. But Prince, being able to play 26 instruments, and I'm not talking about a MIDI board.
No, he knew how to play them and write for them.
Right.
And wrote music. And I can play by ear, but like writing music.
Right.
My son's playing trumpet now. You know, he got the skinny lips. You know what I'm saying? He got the skinny lips. I tried to play that joint. I was a tuba player. I was like, nah, I ain't got that right there, homeboy. But you know, we can put it in Logic with the MIDI board. I got you. I got 2,000 sounds.
All day.
Okay. Wait a minute. Buck, you say, well, Sam Goody life was some of my best moments in life. When they started selling CD singles, I was in my glory. Sam Goody and motherfucking Tower Records. Let me tell you something about
Tower. Oh my God.
And the motherfucking Tower, because for me they were battling one another. But Tower was where I found all of the shit that I couldn't find, like out of print and shit and carrying on. And then there was another one I went to called Dearborn Music out there on Michigan Avenue. Because they had a lot of black music out there, I didn't think that they would have it. When you go to the discount rack, the $2 or $3 racks that carrying on, baby, when I tell you, I would clean the fuck up.
Hey, do you remember this? I'm gonna blow y'all mind.
My dad used to call it the quick slips.
Chill. I'm gonna blow y'all mind back. Do you remember ordering all the CDs you wanted for a penny?
Of course, Columbia.
That was Columbia.
Yes,
Columbia Records and Tapes, honey, because you used to always get the little thing in all of the magazines. When you go to the doctor's office, always snatch it out. Okay, now listen, because I was one. Who I'm one of the reasons why they out of business. Okay, I am. Because what would happen is they would send you that stuff, but they wouldn't make you sign for it.
Yeah.
So they would make it would be a drop. So honey, I would sit down here, I will already have my list of shit that I wanted. Okay. So what it is, they will send me my tapes. I would wait a minute and I would call them like, did y'all send my order? They're like, yeah. I said, well, I didn't get it. It's not here. So then they would send me a duplicate order, right? Then I would send back the ones that I already got and say, send these to me instead, baby.
Killing
so they would do that. So I get a whole 50, because see, You bought 12 for a penny.
Right.
Yeah,
Plus the shipping in hand, it was $9.76.
that
Then
was a late night. That was a
if you
late night
sat
joint.
down and you bought and you bought one, okay, because you bought one for $9.99.
Right.
Did you get 2 more free?
Yep.
So I got my 50. Oh, child, shit. So I got all 15, right? So we were sending little money order, okay? Or back at that time, they would bill you because you had the option, bill me or send in the payment. Most of the time you say bill me. If ever I was pulling my stunt, I had to make sure I sent in the money, okay? Because I could pull my stunt. If I wasn't gonna pull the stunt, I say bill me, and then I would never pay that because I would get it in another name.
Yeah,
So I
yeah,
would
yeah.
get all of my tapes.
That was Amazon before Amazon. Like they had
Hello,
you. And the late late.
hello.
And the late late.
So
Hey,
that
can I
there
keep
was
it real with
that.
y'all one time?
Was
Can I gotta keep it real with you one time. Do you know the first joint I had before even rap? And I'm gonna drop it for you real quick. If this world was mine, that was my joint. That Luther, my aunt Pat, my dad's oldest mama or oldest aunt. That was my joint.
that, and then you talking the remake because you said Luther with Sherelle, honey. Said I'm gonna go all the way back to when it was Marvin Gaye and Tammy Terrell. Okay,
Oh,
okay.
That's
oh
that
So
snap!
Detroit.
I didn't know about that.
yeah,
School
That's
me.
Detroit. That's that
right.
Detroit.
See, yeah, that's the remake. Okay, and Luther did his thing on it, but the original is Marvin and Tammy. Okay. But yes, honey, that song, oh my honey, oh my. And the whole thing of it is that child, I'm telling you now, if ever there's something that well see Amazon is doing it now because like I'm finding shit like I'm finding stuff and I'm constantly ordering CDs and carrying on because I have to have the CD because I need it in my ear and carrying on. I am a record store up in here. Okay. But that there it was the joy of what it was for us to have things moving and grooving and carrying on. That was we just miss all that. Operation New Generation, honey. That's what we're talking about. Same here. The worst was Run DMC Tougher Than Leather. Kept getting pushed back for like a year, and then it sucked when finally released. Plus, the movie was garbage. Shaking my goddamn head.
Nah, that's just because it
Damn,
was
Big
like
Red.
wrong time place.
That's my mofo. You got the Sound of the Times Deluxe, son.
I actually
And
do.
don't forget Damon Records in the Hood on Plymouth. Oh, you better understand. Just across Evergreen, honey. Get Damon Records. Ha!
Do
You
you
better
do you
know it.
remember the franchise Metro Records?
Yes, yes,
Yeah, Metro was big.
yes, yeah. They were in the suburbs for us.
Yeah.
Kimball Music is still open. Their jazz room is the shit. They moved a mile or so down the street on Michigan Avenue in the old pier. Oh, did they? Did they? Okay. Wow. I'm gonna tell you another one that was in the hood that was pretty good, but they were good because they were just on the east side. And that was Chantonique's Records over there off of Gratiot. Gratiot and what's the name of the street? Was that McDougal? No, no, that's further down. What's the name of the I can't think of I'm looking at it, but I can't think of the street, but it's off of Gratiot. Yeah. Yep, Meeks did the same thing. See, so you know the stunt. Okay, not that Lufa son and Fat Lufa. Yeah. Okay. Lufa. Okay. Yes, honey. Oh my God, today. Well, listen, this has been one of those shows, honey, because right now, when we talk about Operation New Generation, we have to be able to take this particular conversation across the board. Let's look at how we're raising our children, how we are mentoring those who are in our circles and stuff. If you are a mentor or a pseudo parent, if you will, look at how we are
Kudos.
giving and distributing information to those who we know are coming behind us. Y'all know I said the other day that the most dangerous word in the English language is potential because we always see it in others. They never see it for themselves. But here, we have to guide them along so that they can be better than us. And you guide them naturally. Whatever they gravitate to is what they are. But then at the same time, make sure that we pass them down the information correctly. We have to make sure that we do to them what is in our heritage, in our lineage. You know, the town crier, or the debia, as it's called, that's an African word, the debia, okay, or that one person, honey, who will get into the town square or call a meeting and hold court with everybody. That person there was the one that was the sage, that was the elder, that was the one who dispersed knowledge and was the backbone of and the core of who we are as a people. We have to be there for our folks to make sure they get the information. Become the sages for your community, for your surrounding. Just start with those in your inner circle, so that way we get them in the right direction. We are not our ancestors for a reason, because they've paved
Yeah.
the way. The question is, listen, if we're gonna do this as a relay race, the baton was passed to us. Okay. Now, are you running it, or did you slow down and just start walking because you got tired? Okay. And then you're supposed to keep your momentum up, because when it's time to pass the baton, it's not like you're standing there waiting for it. You got to start running so they can meet you to put it in your hand. See, because why? It's a continuation. You got to keep going because they already coming with momentum. That's why you got to
Mhm.
start running. The momentum is going. So they're going to meet you because you already done started to stride, because they slowing down. They got to have time to slow down as you picking up. So y'all gonna meet at the same speed to get the damn baton, and you fly. You run with it. That's what
Mhm.
this thing is. That's what this is. Now we have to make sure that we got the information. If you got information and you know it's going to help somebody get them further along, don't be stingy with the information. Even if you feel as though they need to learn how to do it, if you feel as though they have to, um, uh, you want them to get it the hard way, quote unquote, or whatever, child, let them be. Point them in the direction to get the information. Don't just sit on it because did nobody help you? Wasn't nobody there to help you, or whatever? So why would you be that hard nosed for somebody else? Show them the ropes. We were just talking about artist development with Melvin Riley, and how that is nowhere near what it is now. Okay, we don't have that in the music industry. You know, listen, develop it, get it together, let the kids know what's going on. Okay, this is how we do this. This is what we've always done. Even during slavery times, honey, what y'all think Wade in the water was for, when they was trying to sit
Mm.
down there to get the information on how those folks was going to escape? We passed the information along. Now, yeah, we have folks that went back and told, but we still pass the information along. We sit up there once we know that you got our backs and carrying on, because you just don't give it to everybody, because you know everybody ain't gonna use it. It's just with everything else. The discernment. You got to discern what's right. Pick and choose your battles. Pick and choose your battles. But when it comes down to our community, us as a people, if this is what we say we're going to do to grow, to move forward, then we got to pick up and start giving the information and start. If you can't listen, if you can't build the house no more, then at least tell them where to go buy the goddamn bricks.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? If you can't build the house no more, tell them where to go buy the bricks. Take them there. Show
That's
them.
mad true.
Shit. Music must add direct chill to our state of our union conversation when we have it. You know what? That's true. That's coming. We got to see. I got to put it together.
Thank
I
you.
see
I
all the
appreciate that.
YouTube now to get your watchable hours of. Thank you. Inform a brother, pass the baton. Hot damn. Right there. I'm gonna let that sit up there for a minute. Okay. Inform a brother, pass the baton. Pass it, honey. Pass it, because it ain't gonna do you no good. You done ran your leg of the race. Ain't you tired? You're out of breath.
Yeah.
And if you're like me, asthmatic, but you're looking for your inhaler. Okay. And here's the thing that we got to forget, that we can't forget. Just because you're done with your leg of the race does not mean that you don't continue to root for the team, because they still need your energy.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
They still need your energy, honey. They haven't done, when y'all watch the relay the race, what do? After I done caught my breath and carrying on, they still say, and they pushing them, they hollering, you could do it. Come on. Yeah. They
Yep.
encouraging it so that they can move and get to the finish line. The goal is to get to the finish line, not necessarily who gonna finish first. That's the ideal. But the
Mm-hmm.
thing is to get to the finish line. Okay? Get to the come on. Come on. Oh, that's so big right now. That is so big right now. Okay. Thanks, baby. Okay. So on that note, my darlings, we're gonna let you guys get to getting, because we did come in here a little late, a whole hour and a half later than what we usually are. But again, like I said, I'm caring for my cousin. Right now, the doctors said that they gave her 6 months. She's battling stage 4 lymphoma. She's 54 years young. Okay, I'm hoping that she at least see her next birthday. Her birthday is February 19th. So that's what I'm hoping. At the same time, we're just going to let God's will be God's will. And one way, shape, style, form, or fashion, honey, the pain that she's going through is going to be over. And either God is going to heal her, she going to get up and walk and be lovely like she always is, or he going to call her on home and say, okay, baby, this is enough. But one way, her pain and suffering is going to be over. You understand? So I got to get up tomorrow to go get her medicine and stuff for her in the morning, and then go head on over there, make sure she's comfortable. And then I'm gonna come home and have me a cocktail, because, in fact, I think I'm gonna have one now. It's been a long day, and having to hide and stifle emotion and carrying on because you're trying not to, be in the. You don't want to share all that, or don't want to be gloom and doom or whatever. Right now, it's all about making sure she's comfortable. Making sure she's comfortable. And right now, honey, whatever she wants, she gonna get. Okay, that's within reason. She was trying to go upstairs to her bed, but she said, "I want to be in my bed." I said, "Baby, we can't get you up to the steps, because how are we gonna get you up the steps? Because she can't walk, she can't use any of her limbs and stuff right now, so she would have to be carried. But because she had all this surgery on her back, she just had her back stapled and damn near her spine replaced. Okay, so right now she's healing from that, and so her movement is very limited. And she wanted to go upstairs. She really wanted to go in her bed. And she said, "Well, no, just get the. There's some foam upstairs. Just bring the foam down, and we can put it up under me." And so
Yeah.
we got it up under her as best as we could without hurting her. And she's comfortable right now to get through the night. So tomorrow, that might change, and she may try to want to do something else with it, but we'll see when I get there. But right now, it's all about making sure that she's comfortable as possible. And today, I just had a laugh. We got to talk about some old shit, and she got the chuckling. So that gave me something, because I wanted to take her mind off of her troubles. And yeah, so y'all just hold it up, because yeah, it's gonna be one of those things, child. And
Yeah, absolutely.
we'll be here tomorrow evening. Maybe on time, maybe not. I don't know. It depends on what time I leave from over here. And we will go from there. So, my darlings, you may finish all of your crumpets, honey, because the tea has been dished, and you've been dishing tea right here with Big Meats and the big guy, Ally Big Red, honey, in the absence of Aunt Nikki. I told y'all she was trying to come in, but she got to get up early in the morning. She got some shit to do, so she'll be in tomorrow. And then, of course, honey, our ARU alum over here. This is our soul brother, our ARU brother. Old Director Chill, honey, old Calvin Hill over here.
Bring me
Okay,
back in for Momo. I'm ready. I love you
okay,
guys, man. You guys have been
come
so
on up
good to
in
me.
here. and doing the thing. So, honey, on that particular note, honey, if you love me, tell a friend, honey. If you hate me, tell all of your motherfucking enemies. But do know this: one way, shape, style, form, or fashion, everything that we're doing over here will move forward. I don't have the throat to give me my little note, honey, so I'm not gonna do it because it's gonna crack and it's gonna sound crazy. Like that. Okay, it cracked. Y'all heard the little pop? Okay.
It wasn't that
It
bad.
wasn't that bad, but I had a little pop because I was laughing to it. But anyway, I'm gonna let you guys go. And
Thank you.
yes, honey. Yes, yes. Wait a minute, wait a minute. There we go. So on that note, honey, I'm gonna get to pour me a cocktail, kick my shoes off, and get comfortable. Huh? So ooh,
Good.
scene,
Pow
honey.
pow.